Tonight, help for home buyers.
The housing prices I don't think are going to retreat, but I do think that we're going to get some relief on interest rates.
A new program aims to make owning a home more affordable. Plus,
our intention is not to close the cafe because we've been open for over 70 years.
A longtime local favorite goes dark for the winter. And later,
there seems to be some confusion what to do with your carcass once you've harvested your big game animal. I'm Chet Lehman. Coming up, we talk with Fish, Wildlife, and Parks about why state parks, fishing access sites, and county roads are not the right answer, and why the right answer is actually as easy as a walk to the curb.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Thank you for trusting KRTV for your 10 o'clock news. I'm Tom Wiley. Well, as the cost of living continues to rise, so does the challenge of building a home. A new program is stepping in to help potential home buyers find their footing in today's tough housing market. MTN's Justin Robichaux tells us how it works.
It's no secret, home prices across the country have jumped. In Great Falls, median prices are hovering around $380,000. That's a jump of about 6% year over year. CEO for Great Falls Association of Realtors, Zach Griffin, says prices are holding steady.
The trend line for house pricing is right now they're remaining pretty steady and flat at the moment. There's quite a few factors that involve for that right now with the government shutdown and some other things.
Griffin says first-time home buyers still face challenges.
You're fighting a historic trend line where housing prices are at an all-time high. Interest rates are not at an all-time high, but because of the housing prices, interest rates are causing some difficulty.
Still, Griffin says right now is a good time to buy.
If you do wait and let's say interest rates do drop in the 5 range, you're going to have another pool of buyers that haven't been able to buy a home enter the buying market, and it will cause a buying frenzy, which therefore usually drives market prices up.
If you are a first-time home buyer, NeighborWorks Great Falls can help with their Homestretch program for middle-income families.
The program provides 30% of the home cost as a down payment assistance program. It's a deferred second mortgage on the home, and the way you pay it back is at the end of the program when you either refinance or sell your home, then those dollars come back and they go back into the program for the next home buyer.
So far, one family has bought a house through the Homestretch program, and Schuff says more are expected to close this week.
After my first closing last week, I literally said it was one of the most rewarding moments in my career. It's really awesome to just see that missing middle that we talk about get into homes, and the stories and the excitement of not having to wait 5 more years for renting. It's really rewarding to me.
For more information on the program and how it could help, we have more information on our website. In Great Falls, Justin Robichaux, MTN News.
It was a warm start to the work week as high temperatures were in the 60s in a lot of locations today. We topped out at 67 in Lewistown and Great Falls. 65 was the high in Havre, and 61 degrees was the high temperature in Cutbank. Still fairly mild right now as temperatures are in the mid to upper 40s and low 50s along the High Line. We're in the 50s in most spots south of the High Line. It was also very windy today along the Rocky Mountain front, and still very windy there right now. East of the Rocky Mountain front, we're dealing with gusty winds. The sustained wind speeds are between 10 and 25 miles per hour. Mild temperatures will stick around for the next few days, and we are going to have gusty winds again tomorrow, but we get a break from the wind on Wednesday, but the wind will pick back up as we head into the end of the work week. Now we'll have a full look at this week's forecast in a few minutes.
A new ban on fireworks is sparking strong opinions across the Electric City. Voters approved the measure last week, and now the community is reacting to what that means for future celebrations. MTN's Quentin Shores reports.
If you plan on lighting any fireworks, you may want to think again, as a recent ordinance pass has limited the types of fireworks that can be sold and discharged.
So there are fireworks that are still permitted. There's a list of those you can read on our website. So you cannot buy and set off fireworks that are designed to leave the ground or explode upon activation.
You are permitted to use sparklers, fountains, ground spinners, snap caps, smoke dividers, and novelty items. If you are caught using anything else, it may result in a citation. But how will this new policy be enforced?
Moving forward, the City Commission will work with city departments and look at other enforcement plans. Right now, there are still penalties in place if you violate the regulations, and those include having to go to court and maybe being fined up to $1,000.
You also run the risk of having your fireworks seized, and if you're selling them, having your permit revoked. In August, we spoke with opponents of the ban who argued that not only will this be difficult to enforce, but it also punishes law-abiding citizens.
We have plenty of law-abiding citizens who, are doing all of the things that are required, and being respectful and, practicing safety.
You can still have a fireworks show if you have a permit to do so. So we will still have the People's Park and Rec Foundation annual 4th of July show, and the Voyagers will likely still have their show as well. You would just have to submit a permit to the city and get approved to do a show.
So the official firework displays will remain, but your neighbors setting off the 4th of July in their backyard is a no-go.
I've seen so many tragedies from it. I mean, there was that lady who lost her house and her pets, and then a couple of years ago, my neighbors set the field on fire next to my house.
Fourth-generation Montanan and attorney Sunday Rosberg knows all too well how unregulated fireworks can cause harm, as they resulted in one of her dogs lashing out on her other, resulting in the death of both.
Bella came around the corner and just snapped and just went toward her, grabbed her head and her neck area, started shaking her. It was like when you see an animal killing a gopher. And I thought, oh my God, she's going to kill her.
Bella was indoors when a large volume of fireworks sent her into a panic. In her case, it led to her taking the life of Rosberg's other dog, Lulu. In Rosberg's words, it was a sky full of fireworks and a bloody scene in the living room.
I think Bella just snapped and was, it's just extreme fear. So after I put Lulu down, once a cane corso or an animal has a kill like that, there's a very likelihood they will do it again. So I chose to put Bella down.
Rosberg hopes this ban will mean no one has to go through a similar experience to her when it comes to owning a pet. In Great Falls, Quentin Shores, MTN News.
A popular central Montana rest stop is closing its doors for the winter. Staying staffing shortages made it too hard to stay open. MTN's Brianna Juneau talked with the manager about what led to the decision.
It's a landmark at the junction of Highway 87 and 191. Eddie's Corner is known for its hot meals, full tanks, and Montana hospitality. But lately, word's been going around that this longtime stop might be closing its doors for good. Manager Vicki Abel says those rumors are just not true.
The store is not closing due to help, not having enough help. Wintertime it slows down. There's health issues involved. We are closed for the winter.
The restaurant and cafe side of the establishment will take a break during the slow winter season, a move management hopes will help them regroup and rebuild before the busy warmer months return.
Our intention is not to close the cafe because we've been open for over 70 years.
Eddie's Corner has long been a staple stop for travelers, truckers, and locals, it being one of the only places to stop for a bite to eat in between Great Falls and Lewistown.
You have the ones that are disappointed because, especially the truck drivers, they don't find very many places that they can stop and get a meal, a real meal, homemade meal on the road anymore.
Despite the closing of the restaurant, travelers will still be able to access gas and the store inside. Vicki says they're not leaving anyone behind.
You know, I've been here for 26 years. I've served a lot of people. I've been cooking here for that long. And so we want to get it back up and going as soon as we can.
The gas station and convenience store will all remain open through the winter. The restaurant, they say, plans to reopen once staffing improves, likely in the spring. In Fergus County, Brianna Juneau, MTN News.
Well, every year, FWP has to send crews out to pick up animal carcasses and fishing access sites and along county roads. But as MTN's Chet Lehman explains, there's a much easier way to dispose of those carcasses, and it's as close as your curb.
You bagged your big game and you've harvested all the meat and the trophies off of it that you wanted, and you have all that carcass left. What do you do with it? Maybe drop it off in a place like this? No. How about at a fishing access site? No. How about along a rural county road where the scavengers can ultimately get it and remove it? This also a no. In fact, there are many reasons why all of these choices are bad.
Number one is littering, which is illegal, and when someone's found to be littering while hunting or in connection with hunting, they could potentially lose their hunting privileges. We don't want to see that.
Leaving your carcass in places like this, also a nuisance, and could lead to the spread of disease like CWD to other animals. The solution, closer than you think.
The good news is that the best way to dispose of your animal carcass is also the easiest way. So after you've removed all the meat and you butchered your animal the way you like it, just take the rest of that carcass, put it in a garbage bag, and send it out with the rest of your garbage can and your household garbage. A person could have saved themselves a trip by just bagging it up at their house, putting it in their garbage can, and letting the garbage truck come and get it. But yeah, now it just creates a nuisance for everyone who comes out here to enjoy the East Gallatin River, and someone else has to clean it up later.
So the creation of a community nuisance, potential spread of disease, and the possibility of losing your hunting privileges, or you can simply use one of these. Some choices are easier than others. In Belgrade, Chet Lehman, MTN News.
2 separate wildlife attacks on pets in Big Sky are prompting extra monitoring by Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks. Coyotes and wolves are just some of the animals that roam the wooded areas around Big Sky. In late October, FWP confirmed a coyote attacked a homeowner's pet near town center. Just days later, another pet was attacked, but officials couldn't confirm what kind of animal was involved. FWP spokesperson Morgan Jacobson confirms the dogs are doing better following the attacks. He also says pet owners should keep their animals close and make their presence known when walking in areas where wildlife is common.
These are instances of, conflicts between homeowners and pets and the wildlife that also are common and that frequent these areas. And so it's not outside the realm of what's somewhat normal for a place like Big Sky.
Jacobson adds if you or your pet are hurt by wildlife, report it to FWP as soon as possible so they can assess and manage the area. Coming up, travel troubles.
Federal government shutdown now impacting private planes. On Scripps News Group's Patrick Terpstra ahead, how cancellations of flights are now impacting almost anyone who flies.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Well, with news that the government shutdown could soon be over, some are wondering how quickly air travel could get back to normal. Airports nationwide have been experiencing massive delays and cancellations amid staffing shortages and government-ordered flight reductions. Scripps News Group's Patrick Terpstra reports from Washington.
The government shutdown is now leading the FAA to restrict private air travel, impacting the rich and powerful who rely on non-commercial jets. 12 major airports are impacted, including Atlanta, Boston, JFK in New York, Chicago, and notably Washington Reagan, the choice airport for those lobbyists and some legislators who fly private. Exceptions will be made for emergency and law enforcement aircraft, but the National Business Aviation Association saying this effectively shuts down private air travel at those airports. As far as commercial aviation, Sunday was an especially tough day for air travel. Airlines canceling nearly 3,000 flights. That was 16% of all Delta flights. Their hub, Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson, hit especially hard with flight cancellations, 223 taken off the schedule on Sunday there. The FAA throttling down air traffic by 4% at 40 major airports, with a plan to gradually grow the number of canceled flights to 10% by Friday to make sure there are enough air traffic controllers to keep the airspace safe.
Every moment that we are at work, it requires everything we have. Focus, judgment, decisiveness, perfect decision-making, thousands of times a shift. And what hangs in the balance is our responsibility to safety in order to prevent tragedy.
Even with signs that the government shutdown may be coming to an end, which would allow back pay for air traffic controllers, it could take a while for air travel to return to normal. Airlines may not reinstate flights right away, but add new ones back gradually. And the air traffic control system was already under strain before the shutdown, in need of 3,000 more air traffic controllers. Patrick Terpstra, Scripps News Group, Washington.
It was very windy today, especially along the Rocky Mountain front. But is the wind going to be this strong as we go through the rest of this week? I'll let you know my full forecast in just a few minutes.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Ryan Dennis.
Welcome back, everyone. It was a very windy day today in Glacier County as well as along the Rocky Mountain front. Peak wind gusts were over 70 miles per hour in a lot of locations, with some locations seeing wind gusts over 80 miles per hour. Bynum Reservoir had the strongest wind gust in the state today, a peak wind gust of 93 miles per hour, 89 miles per hour in Deep Creek in Glacier County, 87 miles per hour in Browning, 83 miles per hour in East Glacier. Augusta had a peak wind gust of 74 miles per hour, 71 miles per hour for Cut Bank, and 70 miles per hour for Shodo. No surprise when we've hurricane force winds like this, that does create difficult travel for high-profile vehicles. And today in Glacier County along Highway 2, one of the trailers, part of a double trailer, was blown over by those strong winds, and this actually shut down Highway 2 for several hours earlier today. East of the Rocky Mountain front, the wind wasn't quite as strong, but it was still a windy day today. A peak wind gust of 60 miles per hour in Geyser, 56 miles per hour in Shelby, 54 miles per hour in Roy and Zortman, 48 miles per hour in Great Falls and Loma, 40 miles per hour in Lewistown, and then just 38 miles per hour in Havre. A high wind warning remains in effect for Judith Basin County, at least parts of Judith Basin County, as well as the southern half of the Rocky Mountain front until 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Along the southern part of the Rocky Mountain front, we could still see some gusts up to or even over 80 miles per hour at times tonight. In Judith Basin County, gusts up to 60 miles per hour will be possible overnight tonight. So still very windy along the Rocky Mountain front tonight. Gusts over 60 miles per hour likely. East of the Rocky Mountain front, it will be gusty in some areas. We could see a few gusts over 40 miles per hour at times, especially within Fergus County and Judith Basin County. Tomorrow, the wind is not going to be as strong as it was today, but widespread gusty winds are expected. Sustained wind speeds between 10 and 30 miles per hour, and wind gusts over 40 miles per hour will be possible at times. This wind is going to be coming out of the west or the southwest in most spots. That wind will die down as we go through tomorrow evening, which is the light breeze tomorrow night. We'll all get a break from the wind during the day on Wednesday. On the Great Falls Clinic Icon, we did have mostly cloudy to overcast skies for the entire day today. And it was a warm day today. We had a high temperature of 67 degrees, which ties the record high of 67 set back in 1913, 1934, and 1971. Low temperature of 52 degrees this morning, so it has been warm for the entire day today. In Havre, a high temperature of 65 degrees and a low temperature of 29 degrees, both of which are above average for this time of year. Still fairly mild right now, as temperatures are in the mid to upper 40s and low to mid 50s. A couple isolated showers today within north central Montana, but most locations were dry. That cloud cover has been decreasing over the past few hours, so we do have partly cloudy to mostly clear skies right now. For the rest of tonight, you can expect mostly clear skies and dry conditions in north central Montana. Beautiful weather is in the forecast for tomorrow. Definitely spend some time outdoors if you can. Of course, we are going to have those gusty winds, but it will be another mild day, and it's going to be the sunniest day that we are going to have for the rest of this week. Mostly sunny skies are expected all throughout north central Montana. And then the cloud cover will increase as we head into tomorrow night. Another mild night tonight. Low temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 30s and low to mid 40s. Cooler tomorrow than it was today, but still mild with high temperatures in the mid to upper 50s and low to mid 60s. And as we head into Wednesday, another mild day with high temperatures in the 50s in most spots, coolest temperatures along the High Line. Thursday will be the warmest day as we go through the rest of this week. A high of 67 in Great Falls, and it will be breezy as well. Windy and cooler on Friday. Temperatures will top out in the low to mid 50s this weekend with a mixture of sun and clouds and mostly dry conditions.